once upon a time, we decided we wanted to make a movie. And so, as the model for our, hopefully, enormously successful project, we chose two influences that themselves had no issues with production or viewership. Arrested Development and Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
So, we just wanted to let everybody know about The Guards themselves, which is our movie that we worked on over the past few years and that we will be releasing next week.
When you say it like that, it really had over the past few years.
It has been a few years, yeah.
That's crazy.
We realized that a lot of people who are now on our channel weren't around when we were actually working on it, and so nobody knows much about it. If you've been watching our community comments videos, then you've heard us talking a little bit about it, but we haven't gone into too much detail. So we just wanted to reintroduce the idea so that you all know what's going on, because we just sort of dropped the name a few times, and a few people have been asking what it is. So we started, I think we wrote it in 2011, right?
Well, so, like, it started off, like, in its stages, being, like, a thing you wanted to do with Reed being in a mask, and there was, like, a Schwarzenegger mask. I mean, it happened, like...
Oh, that, yeah.
There was, like, several ideas that we wanted to make happen because we liked a gag in it, or we thought that would be fun, and then they all sort of kind of coalesced towards this thing when we decided that it would be pretty neat to do something about supervillains.
It was me watching Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog is what kind of solidified the theme of it, just because I liked the way that they sort of... It was like they did superheroes and supervillains, but they were like just completely integrated into society, like those were just jobs people had or something.
Yeah. They're not supervillains, they're
anarchists in our movie.
Yeah,
It's anarchists and crime fighters, and those are just like things that are happening.
Anarchist crime fighters. Yeah.
And then I think we watched Arrested Development after that, and that was the first time I ever watched it and really liked their style, obviously. And so we just ended up kind of working all these influences together and fleshing out this idea for a sort of superhero-themed thing, which by now is obviously very in. But when we started, it wasn't quite
that was like what?
big.
I mean, maybe it was Iron Man, maybe.
Iron Man had probably come out pretty...
I mean, but like we were doing this completely without any sort of thought, like zero thought to Marvel was put into this movie.
Yeah.
It involves superheroes and villains, and we were going with... And Joss Whedon. We were like between Joss Whedon, supervillains and heroes, we came out with Arrested Development and Dr. Horrible.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually kind of interesting thinking, because we did actually bill it to start with as an Arrested Development style shooting. And we, like, when you see it, you'll see it is a sort of proto stage of the current very, very distinctive White Lightning style.
Yeah.
Like, there's scenes in it that very clearly are spot on the kind of thing we would do now, and they almost seem a little bit strange in the movie because the rest of it doesn't quite mesh up with it. But this is the process by which, like, we started forging out our own style. It's very kind of cool.
Yeah. And it was we had that idea and one other idea that we still plan on doing at some point that we seemed almost realistic to work on, and then at school we had a whole year, or at my school, the Art Institute, they give you 3/4 of the school year to do your senior project. Like, you have a whole class and you're just supposed to go work on that. So since we could use their equipment, we decided to take advantage of it and film one of our big ideas, and we picked this one. It was entirely too ambitious for any film student to ever think he could possibly do for any reason. So of course that's the one I picked.
And it worked!
And it was this huge thing. We ended up getting, I'm pretty sure all of my graduating class was on set at some point. Like, the credit scroll for this thing is super long. We had a ton of people helping out. There was so many filming days that we were in a lot of locations. You'll recognize some of the places from some of our videos now because we've reused things. Because again, it's been a long time. And we filmed the whole thing over 2013. And then after that, I graduated, and then there were jobs and various other things that had to be dealt with, and so we've been slowly working on post-production. I've been slowly working on post-production for the last 2 years.
Every once in a while, Kyle will show me the video, and I will say, cut this into this completely different shape.
Yeah.
And then he'll do it.
Which is helpful, because I cannot actually tell that the movie is good anymore.
I can't either.
Quite frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're better at it than me, but like I can't see the story at this point. I can only see technical details. I have no idea. So as for what you're going to actually see, it is, like Ian said, the beginning of sort of what developed into our whole style of what we did over this last year. So it's going to be somewhat familiar, but it's also going to be different. So like the pacing is going to be different. It's not going to be quite as, just in your face. Like everything we do now is start, barrage of jokes, end. And this one is actually a story with characters. So it's paced out a little bit more. And it wasn't just us having input on it. We had a lot of actors in it that we cast, like what you do in a normal
actual
movie.
casting call thing. Yeah.
We had me, Ian, Jeffrey, Reed, and JP were the White Lightning HQ crew that were actually acting in it. Everybody else in the movie is somebody else that we've either met at the Art Institute or that we cast. And then we also had just things like and camera operators who, each kind of had their own style to it, and people helping with directing and people helping set stuff up. So it's got our sort of style at the base of it, but it has a lot more creative input on it. So it's definitely a variation of what we've been working on. Yeah.
And my hair is amazing in it. This is so this whole time, the year of 2013, I'm growing out my hair, and this is because she is in Scotland, and she cannot control what happens to my hair from an ocean away. And so I let it grow longer and longer and longer, and then one day I showed up on set and Kyle says, "You need to cut your hair." What? No, it doesn't. It just doesn't look like anything. So at several point in the scene,
when you told me that, I was like, thank you, Kyle.
So I went into a men's barber shop because it was the closest thing. I sat down, and they did not know what to do with my hair because I had woman hair. And so they cut it into what was basically just like a doll's haircut. Like it was all had like these curls and it just was like flat. And then so occasionally you will think you see a scene where my hair is less than perfect in the movie. That is not the case.
We all looked pretty different, actually, or not. We didn't look super different, but we all looked just slightly different enough that I'm hoping it kind of sets the characters apart from us in the videos a little bit.
Except Jeffrey.
Except Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
As we've said in the past few community comments videos, we're going to be releasing this in 4 pieces over each of the 4 Mondays in September. So those will be the videos for that month. We won't be making new shorts. It will be those each Monday. They will be longer, actually. It'll be more content because they'll be between 10 and 15 minutes a piece. And then we will be doing community comments videos those Fridays still.
I will be there for all the community comments videos.
Okay.
So that's probably going to be as close as we get to like an actual commentary on it too.
So we'll
anything you want to know about it, like just, it's a true question answer with us about the thing.
Yeah, we can get much more specific there because that part will have come out and then you can ask specific
professional.
questions about
I won't
the
even make
story.
fun of your name unless it's really, really good to do. So
Really, really good to do.
I mean, sometimes there's just moral virtue involved, and I can't pass that up.
For now, it is just going to be on YouTube. We went through a lot of different ideas for how to market it, and we were going to sell it through different ways at first. We were going to submit it to festivals. At this point, we're just going to put it up on the channel in these 4 pieces. If you gave to the Kickstarter,
Did we actually mention that this started with a Kickstarter?
No, we forgot that. We did a Kickstarter on this.
We did a Kickstarter.
That's why we were able to make it. We got a few $1,000s off of a Kickstarter project, and so a few of you who are watching gave to that, and you will still be getting all of your stuff. We'll be sending you your DVD copies and an HD download before all the episodes start going up, so you'll actually get the full movie before the first one actually is aired. Kevin told me that we can apparently put it straight up on IMDb, though, because it's a feature. Yes. As long as it's a feature length, that it's technically valid to be put up on there without having to send it to a festival or anything. So we'll get an IMDb page for the first time. That'll be kind of cool.
So I've been wanting, this was one of the first things back in 2011, you can get your IMDb. What? Yes. I've been wanting, because then I can put it on my resume and everything. Now I just have an awkward link. I mean, they need to know how good my hair was to know how hireable I am. I can be that man again.
You realize your hair looks much better now than it did then, right?
Absolutely, positively, my hair was terrible. But if I don't keep pretending that it was great, that means that I spent a year with that hair as a mistake, and that's not true.
I just wanted to make sure you actually were aware of that and
No,
you weren't
no,
planning on going back to that at some point.
No, I mean, we have good, we have consistent twin pictures from...
You do.
We have accidental twin pictures from when I had long hair. He grew his hair long, and we both had, hair down to here, and we have, a similar, square face shape, and we accidentally pick out the same glasses frames.
Okay, and
so,
there's the one time we actually dressed like each other on Valentine's Day.
That was just gross, and I didn't make him do that, even though all our friends think that we did, which is embarrassing because I'm not that controlling or matchy.
It was my idea.
This is about the movie, guys.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, you're right.
The point is, nobody's ever seen me with my samurai ponytail thing going on, and I think that's something I need to give back to the world.
My favorite part of releasing this movie, because again, I halfway hate it now, and am hoping to be refreshed on that by other people saying it's not horrible. I'm going to be super down on this movie for a while. Ian's got a much more positive outlook on it than me because he hasn't been staring at it for so long. But I'm just excited that after this is up, we can start doing more stuff like it, which is great.
But with a full year of experience on how to actually do the things that
Yeah.
we were trying to do then.
Because again, what you're going to be seeing is our level of narrative writing from 3 years ago.
It's amazing, actually, because we started... And one of the things that we promised ourselves we were going to try really hard to do is be really professional on the guards themselves. So we had clappers, we had shot schedules, we had staff, we had people with who were listening to the audio as it was being recorded and stuff. And then after we got done with that, we were like, okay, so for our new year of videos plan, drop all that.
Yep.
And now we are better at doing the things we were trying to do hard then on the fly here.
Turns out trying to be really professional and conform to all the standards gets in the way of making stuff. So when you throw all that out the window, you can make a video every week.
You knew the secret to being professional was just doing it until you accidentally are.
The defenestration of the standards is the true way.
That sounds quotable, but I don't know what it means.
Defenestration is throwing something out of a window.
Oh, okay.
This is known from the 2 great defenestrations of Prague. Yes, not but one. 2 times was a defenestration so important to the city of Prague that it got titled Great.
The great
So
maybe there's a lesser defenestration.
Yeah.
So we may as well segue into this, which is after this is released, we have 1 month left of our first year of videos, and I don't know if many of you remember, because again, a lot of you joined as a result of this year of making weekly videos. But when we first started, it was because Door Monster came out, and then I put up a video right after that saying we will make a video every single week for the next year, and that year is going to be done as of this next Halloween. And so we are planning on reworking our schedule a little bit, and the current idea is going to be to release a video every other week instead, because I feel like we will be caught up sort of with our own expectations by the end of this year. We will have gotten nearly 150 videos on our channel at this point.
Yeah.
We've finished the guards themselves, a bunch of other stuff, all of our lists of ideas we wanted to work on. We've pretty much done everything we wanted to do or had started and hadn't finished. So that's what we plan on changing, is just kind of restarting and moving forward from that point, making a new video every 2 weeks and working on them more, which will be great. Because right now, when I say we make a video every week, we make a video every weekend. That's what we're doing. We don't work on it during the week at all. We film it Saturday, I edit it and do effects on Sunday, and we release it on Monday. So having 2 weeks to actually work on one would cut out any of the little mistakes or anything like that. Maybe even give us more than one shooting day, which would be weird. And then we're also going to be replacing community comments with a new show, which is going to be in the intervening weeks. So we'll have a... have you not heard about this yet? It'll be kind of a combination of community comments and the video podcast we tried doing briefly.
Okay.
So it'll be... Why? What did you think I meant? You sounded disappointed there.
I was like, what about the community and their comments?
No, it's going to be...
I mean, if anything, we are integrating them even more firmly into an actual feature. Instead of just sitting here and riffing for a few minutes, we're actually going to turn it into, real content. So you give us kernels, we make the popcorn and give it back to you. That metaphor worked a lot better than I thought it was going to.
I wasn't even sure about it while you were saying it, but then when you finished, I was going to correct you.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, that works.
Okay, so I'm going to... that was improvised. I wish that was on purpose.
So
Can't give myself credit for that
what
one.
we're thinking of is putting up we're gonna get like a backdrop, so it's actually looks the same every time. I didn't want to do a green screen, so I'm gonna get like a photo backdrop, and we're theming it around like a secret agent spy kind of thing, because that's sort of been the vague theme that White Lightning has been aesthetically leaning towards, the White Lightning HQ thing. So I was like, let's just lean fully into it, and so I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be like in a CIA office, and it's gonna be like a suits and sunglasses dress code. And my favorite title at the moment is Counterintelligence. You can give your feedback on that at some point. And it's going to be every other Monday when we're not releasing videos, and will probably be 15 to 20 minutes long. Community comments will be a segment within it, and we will pick a topic and just kind of talk about it. It'll be more like a talk show sort of thing with community comments integrated. So that's what we're planning on doing, and we might end up doing it more than every other week, depending on how easy it is.
And we have a couple of other projects we'd like to, And it's the
again,
thing because we can spend 2 weeks working on a video. Not only can we make the video better, but it allows us to space it in such a way that we can do something like I personally have been trying to get Kyle to do a Metal Gear Solid Let's Play.
Well, that would be going up on the other channel too, which Jeffrey has been actually working on. Jeffrey's been working on learning editing, so we're hoping to get that gameplay channel up at some point.
But in any case, at this point, there's no way you could ever do it, right?
No.
But so with this schedule, theoretically, we could do things that weren't just actually directly related to the video. Do little side project things.
We could expand a little bit, and we can do more narrative stuff, which is what I'm looking forward to. Is the main thing is that we can spend longer making something that's more of a series, and so we'll release one-off sketches when we don't have a series going, but if we are able to film some sort of serial thing, then we'll do exactly like we're doing with the guards themselves, and just release that for a few weeks instead. Like we have a D&D thing that we're planning on doing that will probably be about 3 weeks worth of content. And we have a Spider-Man mini-series that I've been working on writing that we're going to actually try to produce using basically the same methods we've been using to film these weekly videos, but
now
looking better on a higher caliber like the guys themselves.
Exposing them to the whole of the Austin public wearing nothing but spandex.
Or pleather.
Yeah.
In case of some of the actors.
I'm going to be wearing Spider-Man costume. That's going to be fun. But
he's not playing Spider-Man. He just wants... that's how he's going to direct.
I am playing Spider-Man. He's lying. I'm going to be Spider-Man.
Delusion.
I'm not... That's no joking about that. I'm Spider-Man. I'm going to be Spider-Man. I'm going to have to do some workout routine or something probably for a little bit just to make sure that I fit into the costume fine. But
okay, you can go for the spidery look.
I already kind of have the spidery look. That's why I'm doing it. I have like long arms and stuff.
Okay, so just saying though, we need to have at least one time when you're actually swinging on a thing.
Yeah,
you need to learn how to swing on a thing.
We're gonna try to do practical effects for a lot of it. We're gonna get a drone and try to get some cool angles. And I think I mentioned to you that I now have a subscription for a year to a stock footage site because I had to get one shot for the guards themselves, and that's not how those stock footage sites work. So we can get New York stock footage and stuff. But it's a fun idea we've been working on. It's just going to be a story of Spider-Man because we love Spider-Man and because everybody keeps rebooting Spider-Man. So we just want to make our own definitive, this is our Spider-Man, and you can watch that. It
still won't be as good as the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Who knows? Maybe we can top the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
Such lofty goals, Kyle!
It'll feature... It's going to be Spider-Man. It's going to have Venom in it, which will be cool.
But for more than 20 minutes?
More, yeah.
Mysterio,
probably. Mysterio, Shocker, Black Cat, and Mary Jane. That's going to be our cast. It's going to be cool. It's a whole thing. It's going to be fun. You'll like it. And then we have a outer space, a space western thing that we've been working on for a while, actually, that we really want to do. And I don't know when we're going to get to it, but I'm really excited for it whenever we do get around to it, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited for that one.
It's going to feature a lot more of us playing new characters, and I think just generally being a much longer story also. It's not going to be like a 1 month thing. It'll be something that once we get started, we will continue doing
seasons
it.
of
Yeah,
it.
it'll be like an actual season thing.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff you guys can look forward to. Those are our main ideas, and we'll probably come up with more as we go. And it all starts with the guards themselves, which again, starting next week. So we're really looking forward to having all of you guys see it finally. I'm just ready to be done with it and not be working on it every single day of the week has been that so far. It's going to be that after this. I got to go downtown and film some nighttime shots of the city skyline.
Really? For this movie?
Mm-hmm. Still don't have those, so...
Yeah. Do you feel like a woman in childbirth?
don't know how to respond to that.
You get a
Just
pillow
thought
if
I
you
would
do.
ask that.
Like, I mean, we have pillows for that sort of thing. I
How
guess.
would I know if I did?
Well, do you
I
feel,
think
have
you'd
you
know,
been,
Kyle.
Have you been in labor for months? Are
Yes,
you in
but
pain?
not with a child, probably.
Do you feel like your brain has been producing
I don't
a
feel
child?
like I can, in any good conscience, make that comparison, quite honestly.
This is the kind of imagination I have to work with.
It's
See, he can't
biblical.
even pretend to be a woman giving childbirth, and I'm supposed to, like, act in his stuff.
I just think it's a bit unfair to compare anything I'm going through to that, but no, I will be very happy to be done with it. I will sleep a lot. It's gonna be great.
Like a woman who's just given birth to a child.
No, when you give a birth
She's
to a
making
child,
okay, you said it, not me.
the child keeps you awake. That's how that works.
No. In the hospital, they hold the child in a small plastic crib thing, right, with the blankets. They
Okay.
have like a little ward for the
Okay, well,
babies.
wait. If that's not cruel, and it sounds like it's borderline cruel depending on how a small
it's
plastic... Why can't you take that home with you? Have this small plastic
No, it's
baby
for the-
terrarium.
It's for the mommy and the baby to recover and make sure they have no medical problems for like 2 days.
But what if
We're
that-
so off topic.
And so
Okay.
this video ends
Okay.
like all of our videos do, on something completely unrelated to anything we've been talking about. So thank you all for your support over the last year. We really appreciate it, and we will see you soon.
Come back and check out the month of my cool hair.
Yeah.